morning, ladies and gentlemen, and fellows of the global citizen. First and foremost, I would like to thank every one of you here for coming to this assembly. Today, I come before you not as a close-minded fruit hater, but as a victim. A victim whose logic and concerns extends to the global nation after smelling the truth. And that truth, my friends, is the durian, the so-called king of fruits, or should I say, the tyrant of fruits. You see, my mother owns a restaurant back in Cibubur, and in front of that restaurant stands a store filled to the brim selling durian. And every day, I witness the suffering of my family, my customers, and my employees. A suffering not just caused from the proximity of the smell, but the psychological warfare that it carries home. And I have had enough. Friends, I believe it is time to recognize durian for the fruit that it truly is, a biological weapon disguised as dessert. Let's begin with the smell. Surely everyone is aware of durian being well known for its smell, but do you know how bad it truly is? According to Bursa et al. In 2008, scientists at the Technical University of Munich discovered that durian's scent is caused by over 50 volatile chemical compounds, including ethane toil, a substance also used in chemical weapon simulants. So let me get this straight. A fruit that naturally produces the same chemical used in warfare training is being sold in indoor public areas. That's not just a snack, that's a hazardous case waiting to get reported by a confused and untrained nose. In fact, it already has happened. Durian is dangerous enough to become a catalyst for documented biological chaos. In 2018, BBC reported that a university library in Melbourne was evacuated after students reported a gas leak. People fled the building in droves. Emergency crews arrived in hazmat suits. Hundreds of taxpayer money was used for this occasion. And the culprit? A single durian fruit left in a trash can. A fruit caused a mass evacuation. If that isn't a biological incident, then what is? Even airlines know the truth. AirAsia, Singapore Airlines, and other countries ban durian on their flights due to their pungent and disruptive odor. This was taken from AirAsia's official website. My friends, this fruit is literally on a no-fly list. You know what else is in that list? Bombs. Now let's get scientific for a moment. Let's define what a biological weapon truly is. According to the United Nations Office for Disarmament Affairs and their official site, a biological weapon is quote-unquote any living organism, toxin, or biological agent used to harm or incapacitate humans, animals, or plants. In other words, if it's biological and it causes harm, distress, or mass disruption, it counts. I want you to reflect on the evidence that I have provided and answer me honestly when I ask, what other fruit can exactly do that? Overwhelming census, triggering evacuation protocols, and ban from several countries' aerial transportation. That is not a coincidence. That is a symptom of potential weaponization. If an object releases biological agents that could disturb human environments, alter behavior, and spread distress, then it falls under the same logic as any non-lethal chemical weapon. And what is durian, if not the world's most successful non-lethal biological deterrent? The only difference is that we eat it. So what can we do? Ban them? No, they taste too good for that. What we should do is be reasonable and recognize durian for what it is, a controlled biohazard under the Geneva Protocol. If the world can regulate nuclear power, if we can classify sarin gas, then surely we can label the durian as a weapon of mass olfaction. I remind you that this is not about hatred. It's about the right to breathe publicly and freely. So I call for a proper protocol with proper handling of this fruit. I call for the regulation, as I do not want to see more traumatized victims in unsuspecting areas. Let us rise together, not against culture, not against tradition, but against the tyranny of this spiky, sulfuric fruit. Because until we do, no noise is truly safe. Thank you.